so much for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Before we went on that break, I did say that our first conversation here this morning will be taking a look at aviation in Nigeria. Of course, it's been 100 years. According to report, the first recorded aircraft landing in Nigeria was sometime in 1925. And of course, it was in Maiduguri by the British Royal Air Force. And of course, a decade after, how have we fared as a country? I know we have many stories to tell, of course, in Nigeria's aviation history. We deserve a pat on the back, even though so many issues, might be working, against us at the moment, but definitely it's still not a totally bad situation. Of course, we do have an analyst in the house this morning, whom together we'll be taking a look at our success stories, some of our challenges, and perhaps set, a way forward, looking at what we can achieve maybe in the next 100 years. Wale Shadari is in the studio this morning. Thank you, Wale, for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
So exciting to
It's so exciting to talk about what you know how to talk best. Right, Wale, of course, 100 years of aviation in Nigeria. Maybe, yes, Nigeria might not be doing, maybe our best years, but at least we're not doing badly when it comes to certain areas of aviation, which I know safety is one area that we are doing so well. And of course, we're getting pats on the back for. But let's quickly look at 100 years of aviation in Nigeria. In your own expectations, or in your own interpretation, give or take, if you were to give us a pass mark, without, mincing words, how will you score us over 100%?
It's actually very difficult to score us.
Why?
But, looking at 100 years of aviation in Nigeria, the first aircraft landed in Kano.
Oh, not in Maiduguri. Oh,
I think
okay.
the flight was going to Maiduguri, but
it first landed in Kano, okay?
I think there are so many accounts of when the first plane landed in Nigeria, but the most credible one is the one that pointed to the one that landed in Kano in 1925, I think.
But at least the
November.
year is not in contention.
No, the year is not in contention. So, looking at where we were 100 years ago and, bringing it to where we are today, I think we have done well. The question is, are we where we're supposed to be? And the answer is no. Have we done well? The answer is yes, we've done well. But when you match it with what we have in other climes, I think we still have a long way to go. And the strongest point that we have shown, the strongest seriousness that we have shown, I think was in the last 2 or 3 years, that we are really ready to right the wrongs of the past. This administration, particularly the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has, I'll score him 8 over 10 for what he has done in the aviation industry. He has
in just 2 years?
Yes, in just 2 years, he has brought confidence back to the industry. So many things that we didn't even expect him to do are some of the things he's doing. And the airlines the airlines are becoming, yes, things are very difficult for them, but we are beginning to see that the airlines are becoming more prosperous, even though running an airline business is very, very capital intensive and almost not profitable. But he has shown the confidence, he has shown the direction, especially with the Cape Town Convention that we signed, the IDERA, that made dry lease aircraft to be for the international community, lessors to begin to look at us with more seriousness now compared to when we were blacklisted. So although those profits may not come in until maybe 4 or 5 years time,
it's a long-term investment.
Exactly, but he has paved the way for us to be taken seriously as a nation. So overall, if we are to score the aviation industry, you say 0 over 10 or what?
Well, maybe you want to do 10. I was looking at 100%.
Okay, 100%.
So maybe we can do 10.
I think
you scored Festus game as an individual.
As an individual,
right,
and the government has done. But
okay.
when you look at the rot of the past, it takes a long time to really correct. So many things went wrong. But if we were to score with what we have seen, I actually don't like praising people because, especially government people, because this moment you talk good about them, the next moment they disappoint you. But if we're going to look at it, I think we've done like 60%.
60%.
Yes.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
100 years in the life of an individual is not a joke. So having been in the aviation industry for 100 years is something we should commend. But earlier you mentioned slightly some of the gains in the aviation industry in the last 100 years. Would you be more specific as to those gains and pains and what we have invested in terms of infrastructure and technological innovations in the industry? Because I stumbled on a book that you wrote, 100 years of aviation in Nigeria.
I wish I have a copy. I would have dropped a copy.
So would you be more specific as to the gains and pains and some of our innovations when it comes to technology and infrastructure?
Yes, when you look at what we have done in the past in terms of infrastructure, no sector or no country can grow without adequate infrastructure. Our aviation infrastructure, and when we talk about infrastructure, is not just about the airport. You also talk about the airspace architectural infrastructure. You will look at it that, you know, our airport were in decrepit situation before now. Yes, most of them are still there, but we've seen what the government has done, you know, bringing down Murtala Mohammed International Airport Terminal. They are going to construct massive infrastructure. And if we look at it, the Lagos airport is our premier airport. Before now, even if you go there now, honestly, you'll be ashamed to be a Nigerian because the airport is the first contact of any foreigner to any country. And we've traveled a lot. Both of us, we've traveled wide and seen how airport terminals are built, even the airport environment. You can't say the same of Nigeria. Our airport, especially Murtala Mohammed International Airport, I don't like going there except when I want to travel because it doesn't give you that pride that this is what we can put up with. That facility has overlived its usefulness. This is a facility that was built in 1975 or 76, and we've done a lot of patchwork on it, but it is not, you know, showing. Before the government decided to say, no, let us bring this thing down, let us build something that is befitting. On that, you also look at what we have done in terms of navigational infrastructure. Before now, we find it very difficult, pilots find it very difficult to communicate with each other or to communicate during flight with the control tower because our communication equipment was bad. So in fact we at a point we had to take signal from Ghana. That was very shameful, and at the point airlines were avoiding our airspace because they find it difficult. There's something they call black spot, and that black spot is very dangerous in the sense that if pilots are flying or if aircraft are in the air, the crew will not be able to communicate very well, get good signal. So we had to rely on Ghana. But I think the government is spending so much money to correct that, buy radio navigational equipment to correct all of that. Like I said, for so many years, we left our aviation attended to. Again, you also look at the Cape Town Convention that we have signed. Those are the gains. I'll come to the challenges. You'll find out that before now, we found it very, very difficult. Our airlines find it very difficult to get aircraft on dry lease. We're always getting wet lease. What wet lease means is that they'll give you the aircraft, you'll pay for the crew, their own crew, you'll pay for the maintenance, everything will have to be done, which are very, very expensive. But with dry lease, they give you the aircraft, you provide all those things. So in-house, you're getting your people to do those things rather than pay to those foreign people. So the minister has signed that Cape Town Convention practice direction, which brings back confidence to lessors that when they give us their aircraft, we will return those, we won't default. And if we default, they just come in and pick their aircraft. But before now, the airlines will go to court, the aircraft will be on ground for 6-7 months, and it is not profitable when aircrafts are on ground.
Grounded.
They need to be flying all the time. So I think we're blacklisted at a point. So that's exactly what the minister did. Immediately he came in to make sure that he met with those
stakeholders.
Stakeholders. And if you also look at it, we also look at our regulation. We've improved in our regulation. We keep on improving with our regulation because you cannot oversight the industry without proper regulation. And because of that, we are seeing more airlines. They are having confidence in the system. They are bringing a lot of airlines are coming up now. We're having even state governments are even setting up airlines now, like Enugu Air, Ibom Air, Kali Air. You have Gateway that is even coming. Ebonyi set up his airline last about 2 weeks ago. So we begin to see confidence in the system. We begin to also see a lot of rules, although we are having, at a point we're having unruly passenger in there. It's not limited to Nigeria, but the way we managed it was very, very poor. So there's a lot of education on how to handle unruly passengers, because a lot of people go through so many challenges in this country and elsewhere. So we need to properly de-escalate tension. Yes, not to escalate it, like the case with Ibom Emancing, the lady that was. So that matter was not properly handled.
Okay.
I believe so, and a lot of people believe it was not properly handled because the crew, they are trained to de-escalate tension. So we also look at so many things that I can't remember now, but these are some of the important things that we have looked at. Then you also look at the challenges. The sector is just full of so many challenges, like taxes, so many taxes. You
multiple
have multiple taxation that the government says is dealing with. You also have a situation that you also, before now, we're having so many airlines that
trapped funds
into
issues,
we also fantastic funds. We had trapped fund that immediately the government came to office. That was one of the biggest challenges, and the government was able to tackle that, and Nigeria has been given a clean bill of health. We're not owing anybody, and because this money belongs to them, it doesn't belong to us, but because we needed foreign exchange. And that's one of the benefits of the policies, fiscal policies of this government. Yes, it was quite difficult for people, devaluation of the naira, unification of foreign exchange, because then we're having multiple foreign exchange. Nobody knew what was. You go to the market today, people get at maybe 100 naira, the other person gets at 150. So it doesn't make any economy to work better. But I know it also came with its own challenges. Things were difficult, but we had that, and we have a lot of money now. So the government decided to pay them off because it was becoming an embarrassment
to the nation.
I went to an IATA event 2 years ago, and Nigeria was the topic of discussion, and the way we were addressed in that gathering, because we were owing. So what the government did was to pay off, and Nigeria got back its respect in the international aviation community. So there are other challenges that I may not remember, but we also, the challenge of MRO, maintenance, repair, overhaul, because now airlines spend most of their revenue ferrying their aircraft overseas for maintenance. You'll find them, airlines like Air Peace has more than 15 of its aircraft trapped overseas because they cannot get forex. They earn in naira, but they spend in dollars. So it becomes very difficult. But if we have this MRO, in Nigeria, we'll be able to do our huge maintenance operation in the country locally, and we save a lot of foreign exchange. But what we are having now is capital flight. You spend so much dollars to get your aircraft. Even ferrying the aircraft overseas costs so much. Right. So if we can have these MROs, these maintenance facilities in Nigeria, I think it's going to save the airlines
a lot of money.
More than 40 billion naira every year. So, and that is humongous. So when you look at it, the government is also working on having MRO, local MRO in Nigeria, so that can take care of this. Just last week I was in Abuja, where the government announced, the president announced that he's into talks with Boeing to set up a very big MRO that Nigerian Airlines can maintain.
Take advantage of.
I think it will cost over $200 million.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Right. And what this government is doing is to make sure that the private sector, government cannot run businesses.
Right.
It's the private sector that can actually run some of these things.
But they will give the private sector the enabling environment
absolutely
to run this.
So there are so many other things. Like I said, multiple taxation. If government can look into that, government shouldn't see aviation as a revenue generator, a cash cow. What people do all over the world, other countries do, is that what they make in aviation, they apply it back to the sector. But our own case is different. We make money and send it to the central post. It's not the central post that we now say, look, it's disbursed. And that may not be enough to take care of so many challenges that we have in the aviation industry. And that is why we are advocating that government should allow the aviation industry to earn their money and to spend their money freely. I think it was what we had in the past, where had a lot of corruption in the system, where people were stealing. So maybe government felt, okay, whatever you make, bring it to the central post rather than, spending the money on your own. So if we can do that, and that is why we've had high fares, because the airlines will always hide under multiple taxation to charge people. You can imagine, I wanted to get a ticket for a friend yesterday to Abuja. They were telling me 180, 200,000 naira. So even this Christmas from here to Asaba, Airpeace is charging 750,000 naira.
Local flight?
Yes, local flight to Asaba here. Aero is charging about 550,000 naira. And I told myself, yes, it could also be part of the season
return.
But that is
a lot.
I told somebody I would put my car on the road and I won't spend up to 250. Are they going to kidnap all of us? No, they won't. If you go in the morning, make sure you don't go very early and make sure you don't go late. Just maybe around 9. Before 2 o'clock, you're in Asaba. So why will I want to spend that huge amount of money? So, the fear that they've put into people that the roads are not safe. Yes, I agree that we have challenges on the road.
But it's not that bad. Is that also, do you see this as, undue advantage taken on the part of the airline operators, or is it really about the Jet A1 or the issues, or why
would Jet A1 has been stable. It's been stable, so and they don't even talk about Jet A1. But I also think it's because of the season, because the traffic is going, the rush is going there,
but even
and it's demand that is the supply is driving, or demand is driving supply. Possibly they don't have enough, and
so they want to drive people away from coming to take.
No, but
maybe the money.
No, but people are still going, because if you're coming from
India abroad,
and because of what they read in the papers and hear in the news, and it's
you
not
just
safe.
Want your safety.
Safety that if they perhaps capture you, kidnap you, you're going to spend more than that. So why shouldn't I fly? Understand? So the airlines are also capitalizing on that, and a lot of people are equally scared. So, and
is there no way that we can regulate what they charge?
No, you can't. That unfortunately you can, because is okay. Why will I even want to reduce the fare or the price of what if I have something for just 30 people and I'm having 100 people, it's an opportunity for me to make money. Yes, it's a capitalist system. People really want to make money, and aviation is deregulated. What the airlines will do is to just tell the regulator that this is what I want to charge. The regulator cannot force you to either come low or even go higher than so. But they also need to have a woman face to it and look at how difficult it is for people to afford that huge amount of money. But honestly, you can't stop them. It's demand. If the demand is high, there's no way they are going to reduce fares. But a lot of people feel it is outrageous, is uncalled for. I was even reading it today that the government is meeting with, the minister wants to meet with the airlines on how they can reduce this, and I don't think the minister will actually succeed with that, because they will tell the minister that you are not running my business. You are not running my business for me. So you can only prevail on them, but there's nothing.
You cannot force them.
They cannot
do.
So
let's quickly talk about.
And that is why, if you have a lot of airlines going to a particular destination or route, it brings down the fares, or there will be competition on that route. But if you're a monopoly,
then there's a problem.
You're going to charge
which of course is what we're witnessing at the moment. We have limited airlines flying to certain places in the country, so it's either you don't have a choice or you probably want to go by road.
No, you also see one thing is that most of these airlines collude, which is a very big offense outside this country. But because we have rules, we have regulation. The FCCPC, on several occasions, they have gone hard on airpeace because they feel airpeace is not doing what it should do. But we are in a country that we begin to whip up sentiment, we begin to tribal, religious and all the rest. No, you want to kill the airline, you want to kill the airline, you want to do this. And people forget that it's not only a Yoruba man, not only the Yorubas that will fly. Igbo man will fly, Hausa man, TV man, Ibibio man will fly. So it's not about a particular tribe. So you need to look at how they've been, the service delivery, how poor some of these airlines have been, and the NCA has been on their tail. But if you also go hard too much on them, what the NCA is trying to do is to build local capacity, is to assist them. And if you go so hard on them, people will say, oh, you want to kill your own that are trying to survive. We have a lot of sentiment in this part of the world that it becomes very difficult.
Let's quickly look at human capacity development, because that's one area that you also look at. Either we're doing so well or we're doing not so well. I know earlier you mentioned cabin crew members and their behavior, but of course we have pilots. We also have the College of Aviation in Zaria, so let's look at how have we done, how well have we done in our local capacity or in our capacity development for those who function in the aviation industry. Because again, sometimes a lot of people think it is just the pilots, or we have the air traffic controllers, we have other people within the airport that do work, and their services are also one that you cannot do without. So how well have we fared?
We haven't done so well.
We haven't done so well.
Yes, we haven't done so well in that direction, because you have, yes, I don't begrudge getting expatriates to do certain work, but when they come and do the job that ordinarily Nigerians should do, that's what. It's only when it comes to technical expertise that, okay, maybe we don't have it here, then we begin to bring them. And that is why I mentioned wet lease and dry lease. Currently, we have over 75% aircraft, dry lease aircraft, wet lease aircraft, crisscrossing the length and breadth of this country. That's not a good one for Nigeria. We're losing technical people, because that aircraft that I got outside the shores of this country is not going to be maintained by the Nigerian engineers.
It will be maintained
the crew,
okay.
They will give you their own crew from there. So, and we have a lot of pilots that are looking for job, experienced pilots. So, what you have done is to ensure that they don't get these jobs. And that is why I said the minister has done well by renegotiating how these airlines can get aircraft on wet lease, on dry lease into Nigeria. That yes, we can lease this aircraft, but
we will not get the crew from you
guys. The engineers. We are losing a lot. We can't even quantify what we are losing every year.
But do we have those personnel?
Yes, we have some of them that are good. Let me tell you, because some of them don't have jobs. You will see someone that trained abroad as an aircraft engineer doing something else. They will tell you, I'm tired of this system. He's selling pure water. He's doing into business that is not related to what he studied. You will see so many pilots that are roaming the streets. They are good, but because of our policy has not allowed them, those policies have not allowed them to be gainfully employed. So we are losing a lot. So you go to Zaria, INCAT, Nigeria College of we churn out pilots, cabin crew, engineers, but there's no placement for them. Most times when you travel on local airlines, you will see the cockpit full of foreigners. And we have a lot of pilots that are looking for job. Nigerian pilots are some of the best in the world. Some of them do fantastically well when they leave the shores of this country. So we have intelligent Nigeria, brilliant Nigerians that can be brought into this system, but because they are frustrated, most of them leave the shores of this country, just like we're having doctors. Doctors are leaving every day because there's nothing for them to do. And if you go into hospitals in the UK, when you see
the amount
10
of Nigerian doctors,
among those 10 doctors are about 5 Nigerians, and they will be telling you these are some of the best, and you begin to ask yourself, what happened to them when they were here? But you know, it's just about the system. The system does not promote creativity. The system does not allow you to be who you are. So the same thing we are having in the aviation industry, we need to build capacity. Let me tell you, a lot of people are aging in the aviation industry. We do not have replacement for them. And if care is not taken, very soon we'll be looking for expatriates to fill those positions. Even in management positions. So I think the government needs to look into this, to look at how we can make Nigerians to be gainfully employed. And the big mistake we do, you will see engineers that are so good, so wonderful, then they will bring one technician from maybe Russia to come or maybe Uzbekistan, this Eastern Europe, to come and oversee them. And some of them will just look at it and say, the man does not even relies on them, the Nigerian expertise to do his work, but he's paid more than 15 times what the Nigerians are paid for doing nothing.
Okay, so after 100 years now, how do we chart the way forward for a safer and more prosperous aviation sector?
Sorry, Wale, before you take that Jibola's question, because it looks like that's going to be the wrap-up question. I don't want to lose thoughts on. Let's quickly talk about cargo.
Okay, cargo.
Before we wrap up. Again, sometimes you think we're doing so well when it comes to cargo, and sometimes you look at it and say, you know what, it doesn't look like we're achieving results here. So if you were to look at the challenges and also the uptakes when it comes to the cargo part of aviation, how are we faring?
We are not faring. We are not doing at all because Nigeria is a very big country, and you cannot do well in cargo if you don't have what you're taking out, what you're exporting. Surprisingly, not surprisingly because it's expected, we're a consuming nation. You see a lot of cargo coming into Nigeria, and those planes will fly empty. So, and it's very dangerous in the sense that those cargoes that are coming in, they charge you 3 times because they are not taking anything back. So once they come in, drop whatever they are dropping, they fly empty. So I think we need to do more. We actually have agricultural produce that we can really export out of this country, but we have not grown to that. If you go to all those plantations, you know, you see those things rotting away, wasting. We have not been able to harness our cargo potential, and is a very bad one. In Africa, I think Kenya, Ethiopia, and one other country are doing better than us. Look at what
even
is
Ghana.
Even Ghana.
Yeah.
What is even Kenya doing? They export flour. They are one of the major exporter of flowers, fresh flowers. They are making billions of naira dollars from it every year. Go and look at the cargo traffic. They always stop, followed by Ethiopia, coffee. They export coffee in large quantity. So what do we do here? You just bring everything we consume. But if we can actually focus on the agricultural produce, pineapples, some other things like cocoa, you know, I think we'll be there.
Okay.
But currently we are not there yet.
Okay. Well, in addition to that, my previous question, is it not a shame in 100 years, no national carrier?
Oh, yeah. If you say this to an airline operator, I'm sure he's going to turn this table upside down
and throw a fight.
And throw a fight.
Right.
I won't mention the person's name. I think we all know the person. I've always said it that our aviation cannot progress without a national carrier. But sadly, some of these private airlines don't want a national carrier. They feel that once you have a national carrier, it will affect them. No, it's not. It's not going to take. They can even work symbiotically and be prosperous. Okay, look at what is happening. Currently, African countries are reviving their dead national airlines. Nobody can tell me that they are stupid. They've seen the potential. They've looked at it that you can only drive your economy, your aviation sector, with a viable national carrier. And that is why we keep on going in circles, because we have not done what we're supposed to do. Every attempt at setting up a national airline fails. And I ask myself, it's not rocket science. Rwanda set up an airline. Rwanda is a landlocked country. But come and see what Rwanda is doing with its national airline. Flying to so many places, signing big deals with the likes of Qatar, with the likes of Emirates on co-share. Look at what Kenya Airways is doing with Kenya. It's the pride, truly the pride of Africa. Look at Ethiopian Airlines.
Oh,
that's the most profitable airline in Africa and one of the most profitable airlines in the world because it is run professionally. Look at Air Cote d'Ivoire that just started. Look at what they are doing. You can't build a strong hub
Even Rwanda.
without a national carrier. And that is why when they say Lagos is a hub, we want to make Lagos, it's not just saying it. You have to put it in practice. You have to walk the talk. You cannot. Let me tell you, I'll bring this example. Air Peace flies to London. Before now, it used to fly to
Gatwick.
It flies to Gatwick.
no, it used to fly to Joburg, but it has stopped. It used to fly to Mumbai, it has stopped. It used to fly to Banjul, it has stopped. No, it hasn't gone to New York yet. It used to, so it stopped. Only London is focusing only on London, Gatwick and Heathrow. You are not a strong hub. You say Lagos is your hub. How is Lagos? Yes, Lagos can be your hub. But how? It's not just saying it. You need to connect those dots. You need to use a place for distribution. If you're going to Australia, for instance, and you want to go to with Ethiopian Airlines, they take you to their hub.
Yes,
Everybody come. A hub is around. Then from there they distribute you all over the world.
Yeah.
Do we have that in Nigeria? Even our transit point is nothing to write. We don't even have a transit point where you can land
and take
without even interfacing with anybody, change your flight, and go to another place. We don't have it. So, but that's what the minister said they are working on with the new terminal that is going to come up. So, if you don't have a national airline, all what we are doing, you can tell me that America does not have a national carrier, but you can't compare American aviation with our own. It's so sophisticated that the government does not need. Those airlines are doing very, very well. So, if because of politics, I'm looking for a government that will have the strong will to say, no, we want to do this and we want to do it within 2 years. It's not rocket science. And we put professionals. If we can't get them here, let them in. Emirates is not run by the Emirati. They brought people from all over the world to run. Yes, they make the final decision. They spend the money. But they put people there. And look at what Emirates has done. Look at what Qatar has done. So we cannot develop our aviation industry without a national carrier. And we're beginning to make that mistake year in, year out. But because of the fifth columnist in government and in private sector, they will look for every way
to kill that dream.
Yes, the last one was going to be a success before. Yes, the former minister messed it up. Yes, he messed it up, and the thing was going on very well. Good intention, but at the time, maybe because of greed, maybe because of I felt disappointed because I supported it, thinking it was a clean. It was a better deal. But what this government would have done, even if you don't want it or you suspected anything was wrong with it, you don't throw the baby away with the bathwater. You just say, okay, oh, you people want to, you people want to steal here. You block it. Oh yeah, let us replan this thing. Let us rejig it, and we'll have a national airline. But we threw everything away.
Okay, we'll probably have to leave this conversation here this morning. Hopefully we'll have Wale back in the studio sometime again, because I think this issue of the national carrier is one issue that we still need to talk about. I know that a lot of people are against it, while so many people are for it, thinking that you really cannot have a well-developed aviation industry if that country does not have a national carrier. But thank you so much for giving us your time and expertise on the program this morning. We appreciate your thoughts. And of course, we've been speaking with Wale Shadari. He's an aviation analyst. We'll take a quick break. When we return, Adebimpe will be here with her Lagos conversation.